10-4, we have both watches on the start. We're good.
Heavy boats with one other guy and just, for 3+ hours is just really.
Good job, good job. Good, guys. You made up some time there.
It's the mystique of the race. It's a race where you do have to train to do well. We set ourselves apart in the beginning because we knew what distance training was. We knew what it took to do the distance and to be competitive there.
August 15th, 2023, the 48th annual North Wild Beach Patrol around the Island Row. 25 crews this year, 8 a.m., 18 miles. 9 former champions make up our crews, 10 novice crews. 12 rowers have done it over 20 years. The best of the best in South Jersey.
In all of my racing, the one thing that I learned was relax in the beginning and pick it up as you go, because you blow all of your glycogen stores when you try to floor it in the beginning. And once you blow those stores, you can't get them back unless you're feeding, and then it takes time. But in the island, you can't really feed. You can only get liquids and things with sodium and potassium, electrolytes, things like that, but it's hard to get the calories in there. So I always told Mox, just keep it steady in the beginning, nice and hard, but don't get aerobic, don't get out of breath, don't feel like your arms are going to cramp or anything. You have to really relax, and then build the effort throughout, and then come on strong at the end. When you row in the ocean, I always hated when people would say in the island, good luck. It's like, around the island is not luck. Mm-hmm. Luck is doubles races on Friday night. You catch a wave, you pass 5 people. Oh, okay, big deal. There's not a lot of skill to that. It's not cardiovascular, it's not muscular. It's knowing how to control your boat. But there's just so much luck. And luck meaning another boat doesn't hit you. Just all those things. Your oar doesn't pop out. When you get in around the island, everything's set. Your oars are there. You don't have to jump in over the stern, catch your foot, and oar slides out. And you can figure out how much you need to drink on a race like that, based on formulas that they have and your body weight. Yeah. And there's no way that you're getting enough around there. The cannula brought into the mix a way to do it and, try to keep your hydration up. Because usually it had to do with hydration, because cramps are a result of that. It's not that you're using your muscles so much they start to cramp up. Because let's face it, your legs aren't doing a lot for you, but a lot of people, it's their legs that go first. And it's simple formula. It's it's the hydration. They're dehydrated. I told them that I trained to guarantee success. That's what I did. And I did it all year. It wasn't just, I didn't come here in the summer and get in shape. It's nothing you can prepare yourself for when you get to the point where everything, you feel like you're coming unglued. And virtually, it's like any other sport. There's a part where physically your body's going to give up. Once your mind blows a gasket, then you're done. Top 5 going under the North Wild with the big bridge, underneath there. So that you separated yourself from who you thought was going to do well and the people that were just rowing around the island, per se. Because you didn't want to get caught back in there. And also you wanted to experience the same type of tides and water that other people were. And the other advantage that we had is, we would always experiment back there. How the water was moving, where it was moving good. And we used to take the wave runner around. On the back of our stern, we would have these different points that we could line the stern up with, and we knew exactly where we were. We didn't have to look anywhere else. So then people started figuring that out and saying, follow those guys. They know where they're going. And, you know, that made it a little more difficult, but still, you might be able to hang in there a little bit, but you have a partner, so you rely on that. And there were times where Mox and I would rely on each other. Then your hamstrings going, and then a fly bites you if you're in the back bay. Let's face it too, when do people go out, and this is something that Mox and I did a lot of, when do people go out and row most of the time? You don't row in the conditions that can come up during the race time, you're out of it, because you can't do the same stroke. You've got to have a different stroke for different conditions. Not all the time, but a lot, at the rate that you need to race. And you have to go through those things because the body will adapt. So the good people can get into a little bit of anaerobic debt, but they still have enough aerobic capacity because of their training to fight through that. Where other people, they didn't train that way. So their body just can't do it. You can't ask your body to do something that it's not done before. Towards Sunset Lake, then you have to veer into the main channel, heading towards Cape May Bridge. Right in there, there's a lot of water moving.
What's justice to a team with well over a century of combined legal experience, with over 15,000 personal injury cases won and a 99% success rate? It's a decision to speak up for the vulnerable and help them find their voice. It's a stance to never settle for less than you deserve and always demand the utmost respect. Because justice isn't a destination, it's something you work for, you fight for, with every case and every client. At Stampone, O'Brien, Dilsheimer Law, we weren't always the big kid on the block. We know what it's like to be overworked and underappreciated in a community of proud, hardworking people who pour their heart and soul into everything they do. We know that either you run the day or the day runs you. So to all our friends, family, neighbors, and clients who have suffered injury at the hands of another, it's time to seek out the justice you deserve. It's time to seek out Stampone, O'Brien, Dilsheimer Law.
And that's what the training effect is all about. Whether it's anaerobic in the sprints, you know, trying to extend your anaerobic threshold past the so-called 2-minute, that's what it supposedly is, that you should be able to hold anaerobic without oxygen being supplied to the muscles for about 2 minutes. And I'm not saying all the oxygen out, but gradually. And then past 2 minutes, you know, it's hard to do that physiologically for anyone. But the further you can go, the better. You just have to keep going. And then once your mind breaks, you can't put it back together again. The body just shuts down. And that's what I was telling you about in Ironman. You know, you get to that line, your mind says, I'm there. Poof! It shuts off and your body just collapses. Your legs, I mean, I just fell. You know, I couldn't have stood up if I tried to. I had people underneath me hold me up to get me off the side, stuff like that. But, you know, it's just amazing. You know, that's how the body does it. The mind is much stronger than the body. I've seen multiple times, you know where the big Ferris wheel is?
Yeah.
In Wildwood. So, you know, you're getting close around in there. I've seen in that area, from the old wooden roller coaster to the big, not quite the pipe in North Wildwood, but I would say just past the Ferris wheel. There's boats coming behind you, and all of a sudden, their oars go in. You go, holy shit, they just threw it in. They're done. They're shot. And their heads would be down like this and everything. You know, they only have another half mile, but they're shot.
They're broken.
Done.
North Wild Beach Patrol would like to thank our sponsors, Stampone, O'Brien, Dulsheimer Law, for their support for the 48th annual Around the Island Row.